Pisces, I hear that you are no longer at the crossroad. You have now made your choice and you are now going forward into the path that is the most powerful for you. And I do apologize for the background noise, that there has been a massive storm that we had and many trees have broken down. So what you're hearing is people trying to cut away dead trees. Maybe there's something in that for you. You will probably hear this throughout the reading. This is the Arcana Veil. This is Pisces, your collective. Let's go. Home. Introspect. We have opposition, oppositional. A lot of things that you're thinking on, things that have been against you, things that you've questioned. We have the cross here, very interesting. And one more, investigate. Looking for something that is much deeper than that which was once something that had hindered you in a particular way. Now the process is saying that, like I said, it started off by saying you're now not at the crossroad anymore, but now you're looking to see how did you essentially come out of that situation? Was it really something that had benefited you in any particular way, shape or form? And we have at the heart of the nature the oppositional force, which could be which is something good or something bad. It depends on where you place yourself in that particular energy. But then that is not because of judgment, but because of what can give you the edge to be able to overcome and go forward. So being oppositional at the wrong time is not always going to assist you. So that is just for some, not for all, of course. Let's have a look for you and see what is in your tarot. And if you find the readings actually to be good for you, that it might actually help you in any way, shape or form, please feel free to drop a comment or an emoji. I'd love that so I can connect with you. Bonding forces here under the home. So this is definitely a space of feeling like there's being tying something up or being tied up to something. Knight of Cups. And oppositional perhaps in certain ways, maybe. There's the answer. Whatever it was that you were looking for, is the answer is maybe. And so in this particular way, the Knight of Cups is something that moves slowly going forward. Doesn't always present things at the most speediest, fastest solutions as you may have always wanted to hear, which is something to do with the way in where you've placed yourself with regards to that energy. And so what it suggests here, the bonding forces, is that you may have tied yourself up into certain things that have not really had any bearing in your life. It wasn't really important to bear that the way that you did. I'm also picking up that some of you have been struggling to get out of a situation for a long time, and you've not been able to get out of that because you're being bound in a place or position or space that you have had to agree to. Could be marriage, could be a philosophy, could be an order even, could be a religion, could be any of those sort of things that you've bound yourself into. And so some of these things may have come through from past life even if it's not pertaining to this reality right now. And so what we're looking at is that there's this frequency that has to get unbound. You have to become unbound from that excuse me, conflict that has brought you into this cave of your consciousness to investigate and really look deeply at what it was that feels like it's going against you rather than supporting you in a sense, because it feels as if you're struggling with forces that are impacting you on a personal level, and some of them you may think are oppositional to your progress, and you may even think that it relates to perhaps certain ideals or stuff like that. But in a sense, you're being shown here that maybe there's a chance that it could be to do with what you have allowed yourself to have keyed into in a past position, place, or thought, or life, where you may have to revisit what has caused restrictions over your existence. And so that is what I'm picking up here for you. So let's have a look and see some more. Okay, so we have dissolve, dissolution, and 10 of swords here, okay, in the upright. And so what we're seeing here is mainly, how do you free yourself from things that have tied you up in the past, that have behaved in such a way that you may have thought it to be something that is outside of you, that is constantly opposing you. What we need to do here is to observe this whole process from an internal and objective perspective, which means we have to look at everything as if we're relaying facts, and we are looking at it as if we are investigating or having an autopsy, to put it like that, over certain things that have happened in the past. Now, straight off the bat, what I've said to you is what I picked up is past life, certain orders or belief systems that you were tied up with in the past has caused this binding up of your experience. It could have been a marriage of had to happen, perhaps. And this is again by no means a reflection on anyone's experience in terms of what you believe to be part of your life or what not. Fact of the matter is, there's a lot of frequencies that have tied itself into your life force and has kind of bound you in a position where you may have had to seek the frequency to release yourself. And though it's taken so long, which I can see you have, and many of you have been able to do that over the last few years. I think when 2020 came along, it really gave us all a good chance to do introspection of some sort. And being in this position of the oppositional, it now makes you feel like you're questioning what is actually for me and what is not for me. What am I against and what am I for? And these sort of opposing forces, they do match up within the actual cross, or the crossing of the event, or the dissolving of that frequency. So when you question, you actually come to that realization that you have had. If you're actually questioning yourself outright, saying, so what have I stopped in my life and what have I allowed in my life? What has stopped me in my life and what has flowed in my life? If you write that down on a piece of paper, you can then have the ability to then free yourself, dissolve away the ideas that may have very well bonded you up in the first place. And it's just for some of you, not for all, of course. To be able to have a free, conscious mind, 10 of Swords, air element here very strongly presenting itself as the nature of what will help you to investigate even further. You should approach yourself with that fervor that might actually assist you in some way. Let's have a look at the underworld, where you will then get the tools and the gifts to be able to help you to make this journey going forward. We have the Hermit under bonding forces, which is kind of obvious that would come up as what it is that you've had to encounter. We have Death here, which is brilliant, because where death comes, there is the ending of an old experience that you've had in the past, which means you are ready for this. There is the Nine of Cups in reverse, which is saying that you are encountering now the place of where you will adjust your boundaries within yourself to be able to accommodate the ability to be able to discern what was blocking you, what did you block, what flowed for you, what flowed for you, and what did you flow into. It's about the same. It's about questioning the self really in a deep, profound manner without judging the self. And here we go. We have the Sun here, which is coming up to say that this is the path to go forward if you really deeply, earnestly seek to bring that healing in your life. Here is the temptation of these issues, which we'll see what is the outcome. There's two cards here. We have the Sun here as well, and we have the Two of Cups here. So in other words, actually this may be the Ace of Coins, because there's no... Anyway, Ace of Coins is the effort in actually putting all of that energy into place. There is going to be a lot of light going to shine onto the idea of trying to see what has flowed and what has not flowed, what is blocked and what you've blocked in that experience. Writing it down and looking at it and letting it tell you, reveal to you the emotions, write the emotions down. I felt subjected to. I felt hurt. I felt abused. I felt this or I felt that, or I was this, I was that. I was hurtful too. Blah, blah, blah. So when you do all of those things, because you're obviously going to burn it away, because there's no reason you need to keep it with you, burning temptations for leading you to go into the past again, you must be careful. Okay? Burn it away to free up the swords of that past that you've encountered. The sun will give you the pathway to lead so that you can start again. Two of Cups, by rebuilding the connection back in with yourself. We'll place the Two of Cups right over the heart area because that is what you wish to encounter, to see the glory of the sun within the consciousness of your own true guidance by looking at what was restricted and what was not in the first place, because of the opposition in your heart space. This is why the nature of the reading is in such a way. Pisces, this was your reading. I hope that this has given you some guidance and some affirmations. If this is in any way, shape or form made you feel inspired in any particular way, I would love to see your comments. Drop an emoji, drop a comment down below. It'll be very helpful. Until next time.